There once was a dog named Muffin. It was a dark and windy morning. Muffin slowly woke up on his dog bed to the sound of the whistling wind. What's that? Muffin thought. He got out of bed, he shook his tail, he shook his body, he shook his face, and then he shook everything. He walked over to the window and put his paws right up on the windowsill. He saw that the trees were bent over. No leaves were left on the trees, because after all, it was winter. But it wasn't a wintry, beautiful, snowy day. It was just cold. Cold and windy. And the trees were bent. "Muffin!" Muffin heard his owner downstairs calling him. He ran down the steps and ran to the back door. This is what Muffin did every morning. "Muffin, hurry up and go do your business, and then it will be time for breakfast," said Muffin's owner. Muffin's owner let Muffin out. It was so windy, his fur looked crazy. She stuck her head out the door to call for Muffin. "Muffin! Muffin! Your hair! Your hair!" Muffin quickly did his business and came back inside. Muffin's owner closed the door. "Oh dear, Muffin! You look like you've got a full blowout." Muffin was a black labradoodle who normally had lots of curls. But after that trip outside, his hair looked straight. "Now, Muffin, I've made you a nice, warm and toasty breakfast." Muffin's owner made the same breakfast for herself every morning. A hot cup of tea or a hot cup of coffee, a piece of toast, toasted very dark, and jam. Sometimes she even used preserves. Sometimes she used butter. Sometimes she used honey. But all times she put cream in her drink. And Muffin looked into his little dish and saw his little dog breakfast. And did he eat it up? Yes, he did. He ate it very quickly. "Muffin! My, you've finished that quite quickly. This is good because today is the last day of the year, and when I checked your food, it was the last portion of food." "Perf?" Muffin looked at his owner. The last portion of food? Now that didn't sound very good. What was Muffin going to eat? It was New Year's Eve. He thought he was going to be having a special dinner. And then what was he going to have on New Year's Day, the next morning? Muffin became very, very worried. "Now, Muffin, we must get ready for the celebration this evening." Muffin and Muffin's owner walked upstairs. She went into the bathroom and got ready. And then she got Muffin ready. "Muffin, come in here." She brushed his hair, put a bow on him, even though he was a boy, and got him ready to celebrate because today was December 31st. "Now, Muffin, we are going to celebrate, and my friends are coming over, and we are going to have the best countdown of the year." Well, at that moment, the phone rang. Ring! Ring! "Hello?"
"Oh, hello, Agnes?"
"Yes?"
"It's Agnes.
"What?"
It's Agnes. Is this Agatha?"
"Well, yes, it's Agatha. I thought you said Agnes."
"What I meant was, hello, Agatha. It's me, Agnes."
"Well, hello, Agnes. How are you?"
"I'm very good. Myself and my poodle are getting ready to come to your house to celebrate. Is it all right if we bring something with us?
Well, what were you thinking?
Well, I was thinking of bringing a special portion of dog food for our dogs to celebrate the new year.
Dear.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. And Snowball is very excited to come too.
Snowball was a giant white poodle with a fluffy head of fur, a fluff on her right foot, a fluff on her left foot, a fluff on her hind foot, and a fluff on her other hind foot. And at the end of her tail, there was even another fluff.
Well, I'm very excited, Agatha, and we'll see you later.
All right. Goodbye. Now, Muffin, what else do we have to get done? Oh dear, I have to make the teeny tiny hot dogs. Ruff! No, I don't mean those kinds of hot dogs. I mean a little snack. Ruff, ruff, said Muffin. He was relieved to know that he was not going to actually be eaten as an hors d'oeuvre. And I also need to get some sparkling apple cider. Ruff! Muffin really hadn't had sparkling apple cider before, but he liked the word apple and he liked the word cider, so he knew it would probably be delicious. All right. Now that we're all ready, let's make that one last trip to the store.
Muffin and his owner slowly walked down the steps, through the door and into the garage. They got into the car and went driving down the road. As they drove down the street, they saw the little girl across the way. She was on her skateboard. She was wearing her pink helmet as always. She waved, "Hi, Muffin," as they drove by.
"Ruff, ruff," said Muffin.
They kept driving until they finally got to their favorite supermarket. They went inside the small market and bought a few things that they needed for the night. Popcorn kernels, some butter, apple cider sparkling, some club soda, and some cherries. It was time for them to leave.
Well, Muffin, I think we've got everything. Is there anything else we need?
Muffin really wanted his owner to buy some cheddar cheese. Muffin loved having cheddar cheese as a special snack. He was dreaming about having it for breakfast. He was dreaming about having it for lunch. In fact, he was dreaming about having it right now. So he got very close to the tasting tray, and just as he was about to take a sniff,
"Oh my goodness! That dog is getting close to the cheese!"
a woman shouted.
"Oh dear! Muffin, stop!" Ruff!
Muffin didn't like this at all. He really wanted a piece of cheese.
"Oh dear!"
Muffin's owner went over to the cheese bar at the store, got a small piece of cheese, asked Muffin to sit, and when he did politely, she gave him a little taste. He ate it in one gulp. Muffin was happy. It was time for them to check out and leave the store.
"Oh, Muffin, this is wonderful. We'll be home in time."
Once they got home, Muffin's owner took everything out of the car. She turned on the stove, put some oil in a pan, and started making the popcorn. Muffin loved the sound of the popcorn kernels, bing, 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 going off on the stove. He couldn't wait. It smelled delicious. She took out some glasses and an extra bowl for Snowball and got ready so that when the guests arrived, she could pour the drinks. Ding, ding.
"Oh dear, that must be them. I need to get to the front door."
Muffin ran over to the front door and started barking immediately. At once the door opened and Snowball and Agnes entered.
"Oh, Agatha, Here's what I bought for the dogs. I'm sure they're going to love it.
Muffin and Snowball had already started running around the house. They were so excited to see each other. They were chasing each other up and down the stairs, up the stairs, down the stairs, up the stairs, down the stairs. They even jumped on the couches and jumped off and jumped on and jumped off and ran around in circles again. Then they started playing with toys and pulling them and pushing them and pulling them and pushing them.
Muffin, stop it at once!
Yes, Snowball, you'll mess up your hair. Sit down.
The dogs calmed down.
Now let's sit on the couch here and watch the countdown.
With only a little bit time left to go, their countdown started, and they were counting down to midnight. All of a sudden, Muffin's owner, Agnes and Snowball sat and watched. They saw everyone in Times Square counting down.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, Happy New Year!
Agatha and Agnes gave each other hugs. The dogs gave each other nice sniffs. The owners hugged their dogs. Their owners hugged the other dogs. And everyone screamed, Happy New Year! And it was a joyous, joyous time. Except in all the excitement, they forgot to eat all the treats. But since now they had brought the new year in, they could eat all the treats and enjoy. They watched fireworks, and they even heard fireworks from the neighbor's yard. They looked out the window, and they saw beautiful glaring lights going everywhere. And Muffin knew, as he looked out the window, that this was going to be a very happy New Year. The end.